Ah, ah. Ah, ah, ah.
Okay, we are going to get started. Okay, it's like tracking me on a very slight delay. You got to move. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Will you get rid of that Claude thing up in the corner, Bomi? There's a Claude notification thing. Okay, we have a small group. Quick questions. What did you commit to last week? What have you worked on? What have you tried? How are things going? Obstacles. You can share any of those things. Good thing you're working on, thing you're running into that's bad. Lack of time. I hear you there. Okay. Okay. You didn't build an AI social media intern? I'm just kidding. It's good with written content. The visual stuff is harder. The visual stuff is harder. It's harder. Did anybody try that creator tool that I made and put on Slack? I tagged a few people that had asked about it, but yeah. So there's a creator tool I made in Slack that uses Appify. Like you said, that's what AI found. And so you can actually put in your store and some like a brief, and it will find creators on TikTok or Instagram. And then it gives you a little skill file you download and you put into a Claude project that has your store information and some like writing guidelines. And so then you give that Claude project your list of people, and it will draft emails to all those people for you. So I'm looking for some feedback because you're in it. You're in. I added you yesterday, I think. So it's very like AI just built thing. So I'm waiting for feedback to say like, hey, this is a bug or this doesn't work, or because I've tested it, it pulls profiles, but it's also on a free plan. So if it starts to work, we could try doing a paid plan on Appify, and you can get more volume. So yeah. Join Tribe, TRYBE.com. Okay. Revenue generated. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what she's saying is she has TikTok creator program for TikTok, and then she's using Join Tribe with a Y.com. It's allowing her to source creators and plug them directly into Meta, and then she pays them as a percentage of GMV, basically sales they generate. So it's a lot easier to use using that instead of Social Snowball. So very cool. Yeah, it's a great. She's going to put it in the Slack channel. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Do you have a Sora Fit mixed in with that drink? No. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. Okay. All right. So we've done the welcome. Okay. So I've known Michelle for many years now. First as a fan when she was doing a lot of content on Amazon and ManyChat. That was like 7 years ago. I feel like I first saw you speak in like 2019. Yeah, it's like I feel like I first saw you speak in like 2018, 2019. She's incredibly intelligent, incredibly knowledgeable. I just really like how she explains stuff. I'm kind of weird like that, but anyway. Michelle's been working in TikTok for a really, really long time. She has held multiple sessions at Ecom Elevated, workshops with us, all kinds of stuff. And so looking for somebody to talk about TikTok Shop, she's my go-to. She's our go-to in the community. Give it a tear. Go ahead, do it. It's fine. It's like you got to just get it over with. So let's give her a warm welcome. She essentially has the time, the rest of the time. So if you want to ask questions, you want to go down a rabbit hole, she has the capacity to do that. We'll try to end at 7:45 if you need that much time, but it's really up for you. Questions via the chat or YouTube, let us know, and we'll chime in for them too. And then for videos, what we're going to do is we're just going to have to, we have a mic that we're going to put on the speaker thing so to make it work. So here you go.
Yay, thank you. All right, I'm excited about this. And I feel like, Matt, this is my first time actually doing a real training at any of your events. Most of the time I'm just like hosting a session or doing something like that. But this time you guys get to get it like foundational content, real information. So just a little background on me really quick. I've been doing marketing for 25 plus years. And I know that's very difficult to believe, but I am basically on my deathbed, heading into perimenopause with great angst. And in the course of my career, kind of what I've found over and over again is that if you don't have the right strategy, you are not going to have the right results. And there's a term for that in the greater tech space. It's called garbage in, garbage out, or GIGO. Have any of you heard of this term before? So when you start thinking about your businesses and doing marketing, it's really crucial for you to understand that if you're not happy with the results that you're getting, it's likely because of the inputs that you are putting into the situations. Very in the AI world that we live in now, this has absolutely exponentially sped up. Have any of you guys ever tried to craft an engineer prompt in AI and realize the results that you got were absolute garbage? You were like, what even is this? And you realize it's because of what you're asking for and what you're saying. That's basically in a nutshell, strategy, right? And it's so critical and important to understand strategy before you start really putting in a lot of effort with marketing, especially because in marketing, that's where we spend time. That's where we're sending samples. That's where we're spending money, right? And we want to hold marketing accountable. We don't want to just wish and hope and trust that it does something and delivers something for us. We want to actually hold it accountable and be able to see a return on our investment, right? A return on our ad spend, especially. And anytime, especially whether you're talking about Meta, TikTok, any ads platform, or working with creators, if you're sending product to them, you are spending ad dollars on them. They are an advertising channel. So we don't want to just be in this peasant pedestal relationship of, oh my gosh, it would be so great if we can work with you. And they do some post for you for $5,000. And then you're like, did anything happen? Did it? So when I first started working with TikTok, specifically, this was before TikTok Shop was ever on the scene, I really hated it because it was just a big FOMO fest. There was a whole lot of people saying oh my gosh, I've had videos pop off and all sorts of things, stuff and things. And as a marketer, I would try to replicate that for my brands, and it was just sometimes something would happen, other times other things happen, and we were directing traffic off platform. And so there was, attribution gaps, and there was friction and all sorts of things. And so I really hated TikTok. I felt like we were just like lighting money on lighting money on fire and just watching it burn, Who loves lighting money on fire and watching it burn? That little green smoke, yeah. Yeah, nobody ever. And especially when it comes to marketing, if you are the CEO and you're wearing all the hats, right? Marketing can be one of those areas that you're completely overwhelmed and intimidated by. I find business owners either gravitate towards it or run screaming away from it. How many of you love marketing? It intrigues you. You want to, it's like your favorite thing. You're like, I don't understand this anymore. It's changed so much, right? I'm definitely a marketing oriented person. My cousin, her name's Brittany Brown. She runs Ledger Gurus, which is an e-commerce agency. She is brilliant in accounting and all things finance. When we get together and talk business, we talk marketing and she cries because she's just like, I can't get this. And we talk finance and I cry because I can't get, so it's just surround yourself with smart people and we'll all get there together, right? I feel like that's a good strategy. Okay, so Matt, will you hit slide share or slideshow on there? Okay. All right, cool. All right, so my goal today, and granted, Matt first asked me to speak for 20 minutes, and now I have an hour and a half. So my goal today is multifold. It's, of course, I want to answer your questions. But I ask that you save your questions to the end because I have put my brain into this presentation to the point that I will be a puddle on the floor by the time the night is over. But these are core foundational things that I want you to know. And so I would love it if you would give me your attention and maybe put the devices away because you will get these slides. And this is I want this to soak in. Once again, this is where money is spent. This is the FOMO that is TikTok and TikTok Shop right now. So let's create some focus. Kimber, I know you're by the pool, so really focus. I'm just kidding. All right, so the stuff that I'm sharing with you today, whether you're making $1 on TikTok or $1 million on TikTok, these things will never stop needing to be done, okay? So these are really kind of core foundational things that you as business owners need to understand and bring to the table, okay? So the first thing is answering the question, is TikTok right for this product? I call these my 5 keys to TikTokability. And the first is really critical. Having that visual demonstrability is really important. Now, anybody in here sell supplements? 2 of you? You're together. Okay. All right. So you do not. Supplements are very difficult to demonstrate because if it's in a pill form, it's just basically hey, take this pill, and it's not very visually interesting. And so that one is against you from minute 0 before you even get on the platform. And so it's really kind of critical to understand, if I really want to bring my supplements to market on TikTok, is there an opportunity for supplements? Abso-freaking-lutely. Millions, billions of dollars have been spent on supplements from TikTok, both on TikTok Shop directly as well as Halo Effect. I know the agency that runs Goalie's account, they don't make any money on TikTok Shop. No profitability. They make all their profit on Halo Effect from Amazon. So that's how they make their money. So visual demonstrability is super, super important. Does it solve a problem? Is there a distinct before and after? Is there something that we can say before this product, this, and after this product, this, right? I'm going to show you some examples here in a second. Does it serve a niche? Is there a target audience for your product that is passionate, that is purposeful, that is, all the things? The riches are in the niches. That's right. Exactly. The riches are in the niches. And when it comes to TikTok, there is a little bit of the idea that that kind of continues to persist, and that is that TikTok is just for the young folk and doing dancing videos. I can't tell you the last time I saw a dancing video on TikTok, probably because I don't interact with it from an algorithm perspective. But that's really not what the platform is anymore. Every demographic is represented. Like, you got a niche, they got it, right? Like, it is there on the platform for sure. Is your product easy to understand? Or is there some complex, like value proposition that we have to lean into, right? That's going to slow people down a little bit. Sometimes I tell people, I'm like, think about Costco on a Saturday, right? Or maybe you're smart and you figured out like the sample schedule at Costco when there's not like a million people that are there. I am not that smart. But they have seconds to capture somebody's attention, right? And we need to make it really clear. And so do you. You have like that easy to understand, easy value prop, right? And then price to impulse buy is really critical as well. $30 to $50 really is the sweet spot for products on the platform, or less. Can it be higher priced? Yes. But with that higher price, you're going to push people into consideration phase. And consideration phase is where you could lose them to your competitors, especially if you're sending them to Amazon, where they're going to see every other option, especially that comes with, free shipping. So that's what we're trying to avoid, and something to just be aware of. Okay, so let's test our, Matt, I'm confused. Okay, can we play the first video in the black one?
Before you know it, I think I'm gonna own every single color in this dress because it is so dang good. Not only does it have a built-in bra in here, it has tummy control shorts that can hold in my lower apron belly. But then it gets better. Because it's an easy peasy dress, that means it's enclosed here on the front. But this sucker stays open on the back. So that way, all I have to do is pop a squat and go to the bathroom without having to take off this entire dress. It has these amazing built-in tummy control shorts with 2 stretchy pockets on the side. But my favorite part about this whole entire dress as a girl that has very saggy 36 triple D heavy saggy girlies that literally come down to my belly button, the fact that I can just whoop and swoop and go bra free, like, are you kidding me? That is so dang good. I'm 170 pounds. I did grab this in a medium. That is me sizing down 1 for my normal size for a very lock and loaded snatch fit. If you do want a little bit more length and maybe you want a little bit more fabric through here, then I would say you're true to size. And if yellow's not your color, don't worry. They have it in a multitude of colors. I love this dress. So flattering. So stinking cute. It's so good.
Okay, that's the 4th highest performing revenue generating video on TikTok. Why? Yeah, definitely. That's what it is. How'd she start her video? Flashing us, right? And whoo, that caught my attention. And then she lifted up the dress and we saw what was going on underneath. And some of us maybe have some areas we're not happy with, and we're like, oh wait, it's gonna snatch and it's covered, and at the end we're like, look at how cute everything looks. Yes. I have that dress in black and pink, and if you're looking for it, it's a Holara. Okay, this video is #1 on the platform for the last 30 days in trailing revenue.
Can you come clean up this very specific mess? Yes, I can come clean up that very specific mess. Can you go in this one bedroom and make carpet lines? I love carpet lines. Sure, I'll go in that very specific room. I know there's cords and a couple of weird objects in there, so I'll make sure that I get around those. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and make those carpet lines. Can you come in this one room and vacuum and then mop? But it has a rug, so I don't want you to mop the rug. For sure, no problem. When we initially mapped out your house, we saw there was a rug in there and we remember that. So when we get to mopping, we'll lift up when we go over your rug, no problem. Dude, sweet, but I'm about to go on vacation. Are you gonna do this while I'm gone? We have you covered for about 30 days with how much water we have stored. We'll also wash and dry the mop pad after every cleaning. As for vacuuming, you're double covered because there's a 60-day bagless base that we're going to put everything in. We won't fall off any stairs. We won't get caught on rugs. We also have this edge detector.
All right, so the video completion rate on TikTok is like notoriously dismal. So what's the most important part of these videos? Yeah, the first 3 seconds, right? So as you can see, like in this video, they're pouring stuff on the floor and you're immediately like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? That's not normal, right? And then the little vacuum comes and does his thing, right? And in the Halara video, again, the first 3 seconds, she's shock and awing us, right? And we're very confused as to what is happening because this is not normal female behavior in a video, maybe on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, but not here, right? So these things and these products, very TikTokable, right? And guaranteed that that vacuum is more than $50, right? But that is the #1 revenue generating video on TikTok, okay? Oops, all right. Matt, can you click somewhere else on the screen so I can advance the slide? Okay. All right, so product strategy is #1. Is your product right for the platform? And I would like to ask each of you, really quick, is your product right for the platform based on the things that I shared? Jordan? Okay. I would say yes to yours. I know what you sell, so yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. How much does it cost? Okay. So as long as there's some room in there, then we're all right. It still depends on the product and the niche, right? But there's still some possibilities. What do you sell? Oh yeah, definitely. Listen, girl, I've been to hot Pilates and really hated it. By the way, not for me, not ever. And yeah, let's just leave it at that. But yes, I mean, obviously, you're just pouring sweat for sure. Yes, and then slip sliding all over the place while the cute little instructor and I just want to punch them in the face, right? So okay, that's a niche, right? Like obviously, you could demonstrate like hot Pilates instructors teaching hot Pilates, but what about the rest of us gangrenous, crotchety people, right? That are just like, I am not in this. I'm trying to look like that, but I'm not feeling like that for sure, for sure. Well, we can have a conversation about that for sure, for sure. Okay, all right. And Matt, does anybody online want to comment and say whether their product is TikTokable or not? Like Kimber's Pearl Pops, definitely. She's hanging in there, but definitely. Okay. Well, guys online, if you have questions or you want to participate, feel free to do so. Okay, so product strategy first. We want to focus on and identify the right products first. And sometimes, how many of you sell a product where you have maybe a wide variety of products that you sell? Like you have a catalog. Okay, or deep in variations as well. Y'all are kind of starting your businesses, yeah? Like I was talking to a huge brand earlier this week. They have thousands of variations of their products. They have all these things. And it's really critical for you to understand that every listing on TikTok requires content, affiliates, ads, and promotions. So if you're bringing over the whole kit and caboodle day one, what are you going to focus on? Like all your energy, your money, your products are going to be spread out from hell to breakfast. Like, what are we doing? There has to be focus. So product strategy, and sometimes we make a decision on the product that we're gonna lead with, and then TikTok comes out swinging, and you're like, oh, this product is what everybody's into, and it's popping off, and not like maybe your hero product is not it for TikTok. Sometimes that happens. But it's really critical for you to do this. So a couple of months ago at Ecom Elevate, I hosted a panel with Built Bar and Brewmate. Is that? I don't know. Yeah. And I told Ben at Built Bar, I've never met him before, but I launched their sister brand, Spilt. And I told him, I'm like, dude, I use your TikTok shop as an example of what not to do and with your listings. And he's like, oh, snap, you're coming in swinging. I didn't say that in our panel discussion, but I said it like right before we went on. And I was like, yeah, because your bestseller is your variety pack. The nature of the buyer behavior on TikTok is very, ooh, I want to try that. That looks cool. I want to try that. But they're not ready to commit to, you know, what is that, banana cream pie? Who is like ready to commit to banana cream pie? I'm definitely more interested in like the sour puff variety. That I would commit to that. But no, like everybody wants to try the variety pack. Now, because the variety pack is the best seller, it gets the most affiliates, it gets the most people interested in sampling the product. But because it keeps going out of stock, as soon as it goes out of stock, all the ads, all the content just stops. It's dead in the water. TikTok doesn't serve it up, right? Because why would it serve it up to an empty listing? You know, that's a great feature. What he could have and should have done is nest all of these, or at least have a variety pack listing with a variety of variety packs. Where it's like, okay, well, you came for this one, but you can still see this one, right? Or if this, can you hear me? I don't know all the different Built Bar stuff, but I know they have puffs and they have protein bars and whatever. They have different stuff. So if this was like a puff variety pack, and then what's listed as a variant underneath it, all the flavors that are in the variety pack, right? Does that make sense? So what we're trying to do is build listings that maximize attention, not are just flash in a pan. And this also goes for, do any of you guys sell products that might have like seasonal flavors or seasonal attributes to them? In the future. So, okay. I was having this conversation with Tajín, if we're familiar with Tajín. They have lots of, you know, they have core and then they have seasonal. And I'm like, listen, I don't like seasonal listings because we're going to push to do all of this stuff. And then the listing is going to die when Christmas candy time is over or whatever it is over. What I want is I want those seasonal flavors built into an evergreen listing, a listing that's always on, always live, that might have variants coming and going. So the number one mistake that I see sellers make on this platform is bringing over their entire catalog and listing every single product separately as its own listing. Our friends at Thread Wallet did this, and I gave their team some really great advice that they are following, and basically was like, why are all your wallets listed separately? Like, they're cute and all, but you collapse that down. Like, they all need to be on the same listing. If they are the same function, the same, you know, and the only thing that's different is the style, is how they look, put those suckers on the same listing, okay? So create efficiencies by streamlining your products into as few of listings as possible. All right. And it seems obvious, but this is literally the number one mistake that I see on the platform. The first thing I see people do wrong, okay? All right, so now that we have the product strategy laid down and the listing strategy laid down, have we talked about content yet? Have we talked about anything relating to influencers, affiliates? None of that stuff, right? This is like the boring, critical, most important stuff that you have to do. Like, how many of you are on Amazon? Shopify? You have your own websites, okay? Would you drive traffic to an unoptimized listing or a crappy website, right? Like, we would not do that on TikTok Shop either. And yet so many sellers, they get through registration and immediately start sampling. And I'm like, hold up. We got to make sure that we have our products and our listings optimized for conversions, because we don't want to drive traffic to a listing that is only going to drive people off platform to into the loving waiting arms of your competitors. Okay, because that you have done the discovery and they're like, that's super cool. I'm gonna head over to Amazon where I'm gonna go see what my options are over there. Okay, so now we want to turn scrolls into impulse buys. All right, first things first. Nobody's on TikTok to buy something. We are not in a demand response marketplace like Amazon or eBay or Target.com, right? If somebody is walking through the doors of Costco, right, what are we mostly there to do? Buy a kayak or buy some milk? I know sometimes it's both. That's the beauty of Costco. Costco's its own wild lord. Allow me to back up. Let's use a different example. Walmart. Walmart and Amazon, same buying behavior. In fact, the amount of time people spend on Amazon, 10 minutes. You're in and out. You might be doing a little shopping, like Prime Day is coming up, you just want to browse around and see. But for the most part, you're there for your milk and your eggs and you're out, right? That's the Walmart behavior. Who here spends time at Walmart for fun? Hell no, get me in, get me out. Like my daughter made me go yesterday to get some friend's birthday party, and she made me go today again, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill somebody. Like, this is not how I want to be spending my time. I am not a Walmart person. Like, get me out of here. So on TikTok, the average use time is like 2 hours, right? 70 million people, 2 hours hanging out on the platform. They are not there to shop, right? So we have 3 seconds to interrupt their scrolling. How many of you are TikTok users? Yes, Matt is enthusiastic. Everything? Wow. Are you for real? Like, you think of something that you need and you go to TikTok? Sure. Cool stuff. Right. Father's Day is coming up. Yes. 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 Because it's cool, man. It's cool. I got my Father's Day shopping for my husband done, and now my whole feed is just like gear and gadgets and guy stuff. And I'm like, no. Let's not get this confused. I don't want to see this stuff all the time. Yeah. 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 They've got quite the marketing budget, don't they? That's the brilliance of it, is they'll retarget you within an inch of your life. You're like, I'm done with this. Leave me alone. And they're like, are you sure you're done with this? Not quite. Not quite. We'll get to that at the end when we talk about GMV Max ads. So your job really as a seller is to make them feel like they'll miss out if they do not buy right now. So let's do a little exercise in shopping, okay? So I'm scrolling. I see a cute shirt on the platform. And I noticed something. Let's look at the left-hand side option first. So this shirt, very cute. I do own both of these, just for the record, and it is very cute. $5.58. But do we see this right here? Free shipping on orders over $40. Okay, and just because you can't see the PDP here, that shirt is the only thing on that PDP. Like, they have sizes, but like they're not making it very easy for me to see how to spend $40 with them, right? The one on the left, $12 to $14. Still, I'm good with that price too, and free shipping. Okay, so, and for the record, I really did. This is not normal consumer behavior. I went to their storefront. I looked through. I was like down the rabbit hole, like really trying to see, is there anything on here that I really want? But I did that on purpose out of principle, because I wanted to teach this lesson, not because this is normal consumer behavior. Normal consumer behavior is they bounce, right? They might take a screenshot and head over to Amazon and go see if they can find it there with free shipping. Okay, so how many of you, by raise of hands, would buy this one on the right? Super cheap, $5. But you're going to be paying for shipping. Okay? How many of you are going to go for this one? $12 to $14, but you get free shipping. Okay? A couple uncommitted. We're not sure. All right, so most of the time, people are saying this one. I've given this presentation before. I hate to break it to you. But like this is the one that people go for. Primarily because it is ingrained in us at this point as shoppers to want free shipping. And this is a lesson for you on the Shopify side as well, okay? Amazon has done this to us. This is just the way it is. So 80% of buyers expect free shipping. So if you're concerned about profitability, build it into the price, sis. Like profit first, right? Also, you can use free shipping offers to increase average order value, but not at $40. Like maybe like put it to 20, maybe something like that. All right. Now, also, TikTok for orders over $30 requires sellers to provide free shipping. Customers know this. Buyers know this. And so I was buying something for my husband for Father's Day, and to get free shipping, I had to buy 2. Like, that's what I thought, because math and me, not friends. By the time I got to checkout, I was 1 cent away from free shipping. Oh, the rage. Oh, I was so mad. I was so mad. And I was like, okay, all right, well, I don't want to pay another $10 or $20 to like just increase the cart value. I'll just pay for shipping. But I was so mad. And if I was like a normal consumer, I would have bounced. I would have like, that was gonna for sure, they were gonna lose me, you know? So this is the world that we live in. Free shipping is expected, and you will lose them to your Amazon competitors, okay? All right, so what I'm getting at here is we're gonna be talking about your promotional stack. This is your product detail page here. This is what this looks like. And so when somebody comes to your page, they've seen a video, they've clicked on it, you know, you've stopped their scroll, and now they're like curious enough to come to your product detail page. The first promotion they better be seeing is that they're getting free shipping, okay? So that's like promotion number 1, okay? The next are product discounts. Now, product discounts are things like flash sales with like countdown timers, strike through. You see that there. Sometimes it can be like a buy 3, get 1 free. And it's important to understand that product discounts literally change the retail price. So if you're wanting to get aggressive with discounts, or you're going to play the game of like, oh, well, I'm going to make it so these fingernails are like $50 usually, but we're going to make them feel like they're getting 60% off because we're, you know, it's only $15.99 or whatever. Like, consumers see through that for sure. And they're like, I ain't paying no $60 for nails ever, you know, unless, you know, somebody's sitting in front of me doing my nails. I'm paying $60 for press-ons. So it's really critical if you're going to be doing like gamifying behavior or things like that, that you don't do it in discounts, because it literally changes the price and the value of the product. And it sets the lowest price in the last 30 days. So you do need to be careful with that, because if you want to run campaigns or other types of promotions, it does take historicals in mind. So, and once again, do not change the price on the listing directly. Like, if you want to run a discount, don't change the list price. Don't change the retail price. You want to use TikTok's promotional tools. And I have seen people make grave errors, being like, oh, well, I charge $60, but I want to list it for $40. And I'm like, no, you're going to list it for $60, and then you're going to run product discounts and coupons that we'll talk about next, so that people can see the value that you're providing in the discount. Consumers need visual cues to let them know they're getting the best deal. That's what impulse buying is, right? I see it, I want it, I bought it. Okay, clickable coupons, the last in my value stack. I love clickable coupons because they require customer action. You have to claim that coupon. And if they don't, you benefit. You still had the offer up there. You were willing to give it to them. If you want to do your 40% off or whatever, put it there. You can set coupon codes for $1 or $1 discount amount, and can be used for minimum quantities purchased to drive up your average order value. So here, here we can see 10% off this coupon on orders over $53, up to $8 off. And here's another buy two, save 15 that you can claim. You can click on those and get these. So heavy discounts, load them into the coupons, all right? And then TikTok Shop campaigns. Today was the first day of Deal for You days. That's their answer to Amazon Prime Days that starts next month or next week. Anyway, it's coming up. It's basically same time frame. So these TikTok Shop campaigns you want to participate in. You have higher visibility, your badging increases, and you have that perceived best deal, limited time offer. We saw the last big one was Memorial Day weekend. We saw all kinds of spikes going on because that visibility is higher, and that sense of urgency of oh, this is just on sale for this holiday. I got to get it now or it's going to be more expensive later, right? But always read the fine print. Always. Don't just blindly have you or your VA be like, we're signing up for everything. And then you've realized that TikTok requires you to do 20% off your lowest discounted amount in the last 30 days. And you're like, oh my gosh, we're doing a combined discount amount of 60% off. And we don't want to be doing that. So always read the fine print. And this also gives any kind of content calendar, gives your brand, gives your content creators, your affiliates, something to talk about. And especially as we're talking about campaigns, it's very bottom of funnel. It's very this is limited time, think Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It's get it now. We're steep discounts, big price drop, all of those things. That's the kind of content that needs to be created around these. Okay, so let's see the full stack in action. Here we have Glamnetic, run by a good friend of mine. They've got free shipping, and they have the 3-day shipping badge because they're using Fulfilled by TikTok. So TikTok is literally fulfilling, just like Amazon fulfills for sellers. TikTok now fulfills for sellers as well. They have the flash sale that gives that countdown timer of get it now or this offer is gonna expire. They also have a 10% off coupon and a buy more, save more in place. So this is the full offer stack in person. So if somebody's coming from a video and they're like, those are cute, I gotta have those, they click on the buy now button, they come here, they see all of these visual cues, and they're gonna pick something and they're gonna buy. Now, sometimes I run into, with my clients, they'll be like, oh, we don't run discounts. And I'm like, that's cute, you are. Because we have to provide these visual cues. We have to add these, and I can show you over and over and over again. I have a seller I'm consulting with right now. In Q1, they had over 1 million product impressions, 1 million video views. Their click-through rate, really great. Their conversions, absolute trash. For one thing, they'd been ignoring their pricing. They'd been ignoring their listings, so their price was insane compared to their competitors. And no savvy buyer would be like, oh, heck yeah, let's do this. And so we have loaded them up with all of the things so that they can improve their conversion rate. And their conversion, high. Bless their hearts, though, Q1, they were driving all sorts of awareness and sales to Amazon for their competitors because they did a really good job of convincing people, hey, this is a product that you need. And then their PDP was absolute trash. So if you ever have that situation, during launch, usually video views are the problem. But if video views are not the problem and your conversions are, it's usually because your listing is garbage. You need to work on it. Your offer, right? Okay. All right, part 3, build content and ads engine that feeds the algorithm. So, once again, why are users on TikTok? Evidently, Matt's on TikTok to buy all of the things, which is great. Amazing. Love that. Anybody else a TikTok user? Do you have like all the screen time limits? I'm always like, give me 15 more minutes. Give me more. Right. Jordan, why are you on TikTok? The hard reality of life. I'm on TikTok to escape the hard reality of life. Well, sometimes the hard reality will find you there too, for sure. Where you're like, I didn't know that was in my chicken. What about, did you say you were on TikTok too? For your own use or like business purposes? I know, right? Oh, lots of book talk. Yeah. What's his name? Thorin, the wood chopper guy, the lumberjack dude. The book talk girly. Don't go. Don't like. I mean, he's very handsome. I'm happily married, so I stay away from that sort of thing. Yes, he's very good at entrapping. Very, very good. I'm happily married, so stay away from that stuff. Anybody else? Yeah. Why are you on TikTok? Yeah. Totally. Anything. Right. Like Facebook is where you keep track of whatever nonsense your mom is posting. And Instagram is where you go to feel bad about yourself because everything's very aesthetic. And like, it took me a long time to become a TikTok girly, I will tell you. But now, yeah, are you the Facebook mom? You're like, your kids are embarrassed. Well, they're not on there. So talk about aging out of a platform. Yeah, Facebook is definitely like has not aged well. And I go on there and I'm like, I don't want to see my friends fight about politics, religion, or their HOA. Like, oh my gosh. I've deleted Facebook so many more times than TikTok. Instagram, I haven't looked back. I'm like, I'm out of here. Okay, so it's really important as sellers to make sure that we do not disconnect from the reason why people are on the platform, why they're on there for 2 hours a day on average, right? And it seems so obvious, but once again, as brands, we come onto a platform and we're like, I'm here because you need what I got, right? And that's not why people are on the platform, right? So I want you to think about this. I have 2 daughters, 10 and 12, and they're really into YouTube videos right now. I try to like rein that in because YouTube's scary. But they'll be watching YouTube, and right in the middle of their show, what pops up? Right? Or like I'm watching Peacock with my husband. I'm watching like Traders or something, or Suits, and like 120 seconds worth of ads turn on. Like, ugh, knife to the heart. What is this, 1990? And I'm watching live TV. Like, oh my gosh, right? So what's our least favorite part of entertainment? Ads, right? It doesn't matter how good the Liberty Bibberty Mutual ad is. I'm gonna buy that crap. I'm not the target audience. And I certainly don't want whatever prescription drugs are being schlepped at me that's going to give me even more symptoms and that might kill me. Don't take if you're allergic to whatever it is, right? Like, so sometimes as sellers, we show up on an entertainment-oriented platform selling, and we wonder why it's not working, right? Gosh, why is it not working? Garbage in, garbage out. What is our intent? And we got to remember that first and foremost, this is an algorithm. This is an algorithm designed to keep you on the platform. That is its sole intent, is use time, is watch time. It's addictive for a reason. It's powerful for a reason, right? And so what we have to do as sellers is to align our motives with the algorithm's motives. If we're fighting against it, our content is never going to see the light of day. Okay? So the things that are important to the algorithm, watch time. How much watch time did this video get? You can't actually measure this in an easy way, but thumb hold rate in the first 3 seconds is really important. So putting text on the screen as part of your visual hook is really important, because people are like, what is that? What was that? What is she talking about? Like, don't make it easy for them to like, don't leave that text up there the whole video. Like, take it to, like, have it come down, right? Completion rate of the video is really critical. Rewatch and engagement. Engagement is the vertical. It's the like, comment, share, save. You know, it's that the vertical engagement that you have with the content on the platform. That's what videos look like on the platform. Okay? These are the things that feed the algorithm. One thing and one other thing. I'm going to add it to my slide. Siri, add this to my slide. Is buzz. It's what's trending. What is everybody, all of a sudden, what is everybody talking about? What's going on, right? I know more about the Strait of Hormuz from TikTok. I don't want to know anything about the Strait of Hormuz, ever. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to care about it, but I know about it because I don't trust the news. And so I go to TikTok for Hormuz. Do you guys know what Hormuz is? It's the Iran, you know how our gas is really expensive right now? It's because of the Strait of Hormuz, bro, right? So, and other things. We're not going to get political tonight. All right. So when it comes to content creation, volume plus iteration equals algorithm favor. So to put it in other words, you need to constantly be producing content and testing it. Now, this is a very advertising-oriented thing to do. And it has, I've been using the platform since its inception, and before it was launched in the US, I was using it in the UK for TikTok Shop. And it used to be that shoppable posts got reach. They do not anymore. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But we're playing an advertising game now. And so we need to shift our mindset from being like, I got to work with affiliates. I got to work with influencers. I got to work with creators. And I'm like, no, sis, you need to generate content. And those are just some of the fuel sources that you're going to use to create that content. But we need to have a content-oriented mindset, not a creator-oriented mindset. And if I were a creator right now, any of you guys creators? You create content for your own? Do you create content for anybody else? If I were a creator right now, I would be crapping my pants because AI is coming for them. It's already there. And with how good it's gotten recently, the kind of video content I produced in seconds this week that didn't require samples or commissions, I didn't pay I paid for some AI credits. I think it was $25 for 5,000. That's really great for marketers. That's really crappy for creators. So if you got creator friends, just tell them you need to diversify your income sources. Okay. All right. I hate to be the bearer of bad news for them. Good news for us. We're marketers, right? Okay. So let's do a case study. Has anybody seen this product? This is the #1 selling product on the platform. #1. Do you guys know what it is? No, because you're all young and beautiful. You don't need it. It is Medicube's PDRN Pink Collagen Volume Multibalm. What does that mean? I'm going to tell you. But first, let's look at the numbers. Okay? Over $12 million generated in the last 90 days. It launched on March 19th. Okay? Over 675,000 sales, items sold. Average sale price, $18. That sucks. I paid how much did I pay? $25? Video revenue, product card revenue, creator conversion. I'll explain all of this. But this is the #1 selling product on the platform. Okay? So let's do a little case study. Shoot, I was really hoping I'd have animations. But let's talk about feeding the funnel. Matt, can you move move that out of the way so I can speak to what's in front of it. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about the type of content we need to be producing. When it comes to our brand channels, this should be brand-owned content, is top of funnel. Top of funnel, from a marketing perspective, tells a story. It tells, and this is the content here that is closest to the reason why people are on the algorithm. Okay? So, my cute friend here, what was your name? Maisie. So your supplement has great opportunity for education, right? Like, we aren't going to talk about your brand. We're not going to be talking about your product at all. We're going to be talking about symptoms and issues and things that help with that your product solves, right? But it's going to be very informational and educational, and we're going to be talking about ingredients and the importance of like knowing where your products are coming from and what you're putting in your body and all, right? We might dabble in entertainment, and we might even dabble in controversy. If you're taking this type of stuff, you're basically putting garbage in your kidneys. Your kidneys are going to turn black, right? I don't know what color kidneys are, but like, you're going to be smacking them across the face a little bit. You might even be doing some behind the scenes or the founder story. This is why I created this Pilates towel, right? I was sick of slip sliding and looking like somehow I ended up on the mat in the front right next to the teacher, and everybody's watching me, and it's my first class, and I didn't realize that when they said hot Pilates, they really meant hot Pilates, and I don't know Pilates in general, and I'm not only am I the fool in the front, I'm slip sliding everywhere because I didn't have a towel, right? So we're telling stories, we're like sharing our trauma, right? All of those things, top of funnel content, right? Okay, so let's show them an example of top of funnel content. This piece of content, 30 million views. This is their number one.
From boob filler, including myself. Do you see the difference? Yeah, I didn't believe it last year until my RN brain kicked in from all kinds of women applying volufiline, but with their finger. And if you didn't know, volufiline is a literal fat cell growing ingredient. For the longest time, it was only used in medical offices,
talking about
hospitals,
a key ingredient.
And breast enhancement and gluteal badonkadonk. Let me tell you, it works, but it's only been suspended in like liquids that you have to apply with your fingers. This was my under eyes last year. I did volufiline every single morning. Look how glossy my skin looks. It even looks thicker. I can rub it till the cows come home. I don't have on any concealer. I've even had women come in my comment section standing on 10. So here's where South Korean market is.
She goes and goes and goes for a bit. Okay. I don't know if you can tell, but my under eyes are quite haggard these days. I'm like, who is this person? What has happened to my youthful glow? Why do I look like I haven't slept in 40 years? Like, all of a sudden, I am very disturbed by my under eyes. She is speaking to my soul right now, right? She's talking about an ingredient I have never heard of before. It's this French ingredient that helps boost your fat cells. So what is she talking about? Has she even demonstrated the product yet? What is she doing? She's talking about problems, yeah. What else is she talking about? She's educating. She's talking about what is volufiline. Did you see her show her fingers? Because she's been putting on somebody else's volufiline. She didn't talk about that brand. I've listened to this video a few times, so I know this sounds not great. So she showed her fingers. She's been using another brand to put volufiline on her under eyes. And you could literally see one of her fingers was more plump than the other one. And I'm thinking, yes, sis, I want plump under eyes. I don't want these hollow-looking corpse holes anymore. I don't want to look like I'm on my way to my deathbed. I want to be looking a certain way, right? And she's pretty. I can be pretty too, right? Matt, can you drag up the results there? All right. So as you can see, this is their top-selling video. 30 million views. 34, because we're rounding, 34,000 sales, orders, items sold. Girlfriend got herself all sorts of followers, and revenue. Guaranteed the commission checks she's getting are fat, right? So, and you can see some of the and guarantee this is where this is like I just want to plant a seed right here. This is not viral. This is paid. Okay? So, we're going to have a little make sure that we understand that. Okay. Moving forward. Middle of funnel. Matt, will you move that? So middle of funnel content is what you typically see in product content. It's the product demo, unboxing. Please don't do unboxing videos unless there's something really interesting about your box. Boring. Been there, done that. It was so 2021. We're talking features, benefits, how to use it, why it's better. Okay? So let's watch this one. Second video. 12 seconds. She goes from, let's just watch it again, just for kicks and giggles. Okay, so we're looking at her under eyes, and now we're seeing these under eyes. Oh, snap, right? And then she's doing this little product demo. I don't know what she's saying. I don't care what she's saying. Her face is saying it all. Talk about demonstrability, right? Problem solution. Like, if we're checking all those boxes, this is the power of bringing a great product to market that demonstrates well, right? To the point, my friends, at some point, you might be doing product development for TikTok Shop first. And if you're not already thinking that way, you need to stop what you're doing. You need to start thinking that way. Because and I don't tell people this, but I will tell you this, because you're female founders, and I want this for you. Quicker time to market, quicker time to testing, quicker time to results, then you can go deep on your inventory. Okay? So whether it's a flavor or it's a style or whatever it might be, like get it in, get it out, get it tested as quickly as possible, and then go deep. If your manufacturer's like MOQs and stuff and things, be like, let's chill. I got to test it on TikTok first. And that's all you got to tell them, because they're like, oh, that's because everybody thinks it's magic. And it can be. Okay, so that video, 8 million views, 10,000 items sold, 200,000. So once again, those ads down there. Okay, middle of funnel content. And usually when you're working with creators, if you're working with TikTok Shop affiliates, this is the type of content that they're producing. And they're not going to think much about it. They're just going to like whip it out there and be like, you want to make it like super easy for them to demonstrate that product, right? Okay. All right. Next slide. All right, that's way. Click somewhere else on the screen. Yeah, okay. All right, and then bottom of funnel. Bottom of funnel is time sensitive, price sensitive, campaign, seasonal gimmicks. So this week, when my team was preparing content for our clients, I'm like, it is all bottom of funnel. It is all deals for you days. We have hundreds of pieces of content that's all bottom of funnel this week and for the next 2 weeks. Because we care, this is what we care about. All right, let's watch the video as an example. This is their 4th best performing video. Oh, is it not showing? Down here, it's showing Spring Fling, 40% off, super great deal. I don't know why it's not showing it in there. But that video, like, is that a difficult video to produce? No. And all I had was words on it about, like, Spring Fling, which was a TikTok Shop campaign. Like, limited time, limited deal, 40% off, whatever. 8 million views, almost 10,000 items sold, almost $175,000 in revenue from that video. And it wasn't even trying hard. Like, it wasn't even trying hard. Just bottom of funnel. Okay? So we want to feed the funnel with all of this top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel content, right? We got to give the algorithm lots of wiggle room to test. And bottom of funnel is really important because it ends up in retargeting campaigns. All the content ends up in retargeting campaigns, but especially bottom of funnel, because somebody's usually coming from like video 1 because they see it and they're like, oh, that's really cool, but I don't know, $15 is a lot. I'm going to come back later, right? Now they're going to get hit over and over again with retargeting campaigns, and usually bottom of funnel can be really powerful in those retargeting. Okay, let's talk about videos versus lives. How many of you are like, what's the story? I need to be doing lives. I need to be doing the lives. Okay, well, Metacube for this product, you can't see it, but they had over 15,000 lives happen in the last 90 days. And this is how much revenue was generated. I don't hate it. They had over 50,000 videos made across affiliates and all sorts of things. $12 million. So from like, do I want to recruit affiliates or create content from lives? Or do I want to create content and recruit creators for videos? I think it's pretty obvious, right? Now, lives can be really helpful for certain categories, fashion being one of them, where you can demonstrate a variety of products very quickly. You can talk about sizing. You can talk, answer questions that people have. They're like, hey, you could just sit there and answer questions the whole time. So it's very bottom of funnel. But I don't think they're really great for conversions. I think they're really great for education. So if you do have a product that requires some education or a lot of demonstration, then lives should definitely be part of your media mix. But I would not start there, primarily because lives, they come and go. Once a live is over, it's over. Guaranteed, this content will live on for years with ads. Years. It'll continue to convert for them. Those ads will continue to run. And I have clients where we have converting content from 2 years ago that are still running because of ads. It's still converting. It's still working. So, and over here, if I showed you this column, it would show you the post date. All of this, because the product was launched in March, all the content's relatively new. But there are many, many products that, as I'm doing research or, building strategy, where their content was 2024. And we're like, dang. And it's still converting? That's hot. To quote Paris Hilton, that's hot. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the hard truth about drug dealing. Social media platforms are drug dealers. This happened with Meta, and now it's happened with TikTok, in the sense that they give you something for free, and then once you're hooked, then they start making you pay, right? So with Meta, how it looked, and this is dating me, but I have been doing marketing for 25 years, so I just see patterns. Meta had business pages, business profiles, right? Facebook and Instagram. You probably have business accounts on Instagram, right? And it used to be that if somebody followed you, that they would see your content. Not anymore. Absolutely not. You could try with all your might to do engagement baiting and all sorts of fun stuff. But unless somebody's boosting that, running ads to it, they're not seeing your content. They're not. That's the hard truth of it. And TikTok recently made this change. I was talking to Just Ingredients just earlier this week. I was like, when was the last time you had a viral product video? And they said it's got to be a year and a half, 2 years. And there's some reasons for that. I'm not going to bore you with it because unfortunately I understand too much about the politics of the situation. But I mean, TikTok US or TikTok, the algorithm is no longer owned by ByteDance. Right? Have you maybe heard of the whole drama and how So if you want more information about that, I will tell you. But bottom line is you have to pay to play, okay? So I will talk to brands who are just busting their butt out, Kimber, I'm talking to you, Kimber, who are just so much content. They are like committed to content. They are posting every day and doing all of these things, but they're not running ads. And TikTok, for all content on the platform has the same starting line. It's what's great about the platform. It doesn't matter how many followers somebody has. Phil's my pharmacist. He's an amazing content creator based out of Logan. He is the face of TikTok Shop Health, the category. He is the top performing affiliate for TikTok Shop Health. Even his content will start off with 200 views. And then if people start to engage with it, then they give him a little bit more and a little bit more, right? And a little bit more from an organic perspective. But ads, if he's posting shoppable content, guaranteed he's working with brands who have put a healthy budget behind their ad campaigns. So shoppable content naturally and inherently gets less reach. So you might be thinking like, Michelle, I see viral content all the time. And I'm like, is it shoppable? Did it like come out of nowhere? Content-wise, entertainment content, sure. But when was the last time you saw a product video that was truly viral? It doesn't happen anymore. Or at least that is there's always a chance, things change, they change all the time, but this is just where we're at. It has been a long time since we've seen something pop off on TikTok. And if it did, it's because a lot of money was involved in making that happen, okay? So shoppable content gets less reach, and that's why you have to run what's called GMV Max ads to extend the reach and the life of your video content. And that's true for your creators, the affiliates that you work with as well, okay? And it's critical for retargeting buyers. So I would love all of you to go and search for Metacube and that balm and not buy it. And I want you to see what happens to your feed. So Matt, what was the brand you were saying that you were like, stop? Salud. What was the product? Yeah, hydration. Their margins, crazy good. So yeah, their ads, they're going to stalk you for sure. Oh, yeah, sure. But if they can get you to buy even just that one time, the chance, especially if you signed up as a subscription client, woo-wee. Yeah. Yeah. TikTok pixels, obviously you can put the TikTok pixel on your website too. So if somebody comes to your website and doesn't purchase, then you can also stalk them within an inch of their life on TikTok as well. So yeah, absolutely. So retargeting campaigns are really critical. And product cards, if anybody is actually running an active ad campaign and they're like, oh, look, my product card is getting all of these sales. It's my number one sale or whatever. And I'm like, that's not because somebody's searching for you and buying your product that you're getting organic. That's retargeting. They're following you around all over the place on the platform. Also, it's important to note that TikTok is last click attribution, which means, so that PDRN stick, I don't even know how many videos I saw before I finally caved and bought it. It wasn't the first time. It wasn't. But according to TikTok, whatever video I purchased with was the reason that I purchased. It wasn't the question of like, is this the first video she's seen or is this the 15th video that she's seen, right? So sometimes when we're making decisions and doing research about our funnel, like being like, what are my competitors doing? What are their hooks? What are the things that are converting? Da 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 da. And you might see some bottom of funnel ad that's total trash, and being like, really? It's because of retargeting and last click attribution. It's the funnel in action. Guaranteed that, that last video that I showed you guys was not the reason why somebody bought in the first place. Guaranteed they saw one of the other many really great videos, probably some in the top 10, and then we're getting retargeted. So having an ads budget, if you're just posting and not running ads, you're getting maybe 200 views on your videos, And you're wondering like, man, is my content bad? No, your content just doesn't stand a chance, right? And there's no guarantee that somebody's going to buy on the first time they see your stuff. They need to be reminded that they saw it and were interested in it in the first place, right? You have to do this on every other any other marketing platform. You would do this in Meta, you would do this on YouTube with Google, and you have to do it on TikTok as well. So if people are like, I'm just going to wait to have a video pop off, it's not going to happen. Okay? All right. Okay. All right. We've talked about a lot of stuff. How are we feeling? Yeah. Sure. Well, are they okay with it?
So I see Jordan's stuff on TikTok, and she has these where she's at a conference and people's reaction to trying the flavors.
Ooh, yeah, I love that.
Some of them are like really, really cool reactions, like some big muscle-bound guy or like somebody freaking out at the flavor. Like, could those be good ads if it's like shows somebody just?
Absolutely. It's very demonstrable. People love, and on TikTok, the interview style, like, hey, can I get you to just really quick? That's very buzzy. The algorithm loves interview style. Oh, what was your question? What was the question? Interview style. Great content. Yeah. Because it's before and after. It's very demonstrable, right? Yes.
So you talked about medical benefits and that kind of stuff. So when I use
You have to be careful.
yeah, exactly. So it says don't do that because you can't put this article in it or whatever. And so I want to be able to show that my product.
Tell me what you want it to say. What is your claim?
So that tampons can cause fertility and cancer.
Ooh, we're going to use the C word on TikTok? Okay. You got to be careful.
So exactly, like it's been demonstrated in studies, but can I actually, make reference to that and say mine was fire tampons or
What is your product?
so I sell a brand of athletic clothing that has integrated crib and incontinence measures that goes across the board.
Okay. So maybe what I would do is focus on some features, benefits that are not quite so heavy hitting. Like, I mean, we could do a demonstration of jumping on a trampoline, right? That's easy peasy. Not to make a pun or anything, but like you can very easily demonstrate your product without getting into dangerous territory of like going after an entire industry, right? Talk about controversial.
So, but I can still say like mine's chemical free.
Yeah.
Safe.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wouldn't allude to it's chemical free because as we know tampons cause cancer. What? Right? You don't want always coming after you and like suing you, right? I got stories. Okay. Yeah. Macy.
You mentioned that you paid like $100 to make content, and it was like you made like 5,000.
You get 5,000 credits. Right.
What platform are you to make content?
Google Flow. Google Flow. So any of you have Google Workspace accounts? It's already included in your workspace. So just Google Flow, and you get like 50 credits a day if you're not paying for credits. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you just like if I want a POV style, I'm going to generate those images in Nano Banana first and then use them as reference images. I'm not going to engineer a prompt for video. I'm going to like create an image first, and then I'm going to put that in there. Whether that's do you guys know what an ICP is? Ideal customer profile, your target audience, your avatar, all kind of the same thing. tell the algorithm who you're for, right? On TikTok, you can create, if you're just launching, you have one official TikTok account that can be bound to your shop, and you can have at least one marketing channel that can also be bound. That marketing channel doesn't have to be brand official in any way. It could be, active mamas over 50, right? And you could have all sorts of content on there around your favorite exercise moves. And oh my gosh, in addition to my exercise moves, obviously you can tell I'm a dance instructor. I can also talk about my favorite pants, because sometimes we have a little oops. And if we've had kids at all, gosh, man. I've had C-sections, so I'm fine there. But, you can have a whole marketing account that is just for that ICP. And I would make, I would name your ICP, and I would make her the face of your channel in the form of UGC creators. Like, I would go and hire, go on Join Brands, Billow, any of those platforms where you can just order UGC content from. Go get UGC content. But also AI, Google Flow. I'll take a picture of who my avatar looks like. I'll schlep her in there and be like, show her jumping on the trampoline and saying, gosh, I can feel that I'm currently peeing my pants. Right? This is super fun, Matt, this stage. Super fun. And in less than a minute, it will generate a video for you of somebody doing that same thing, saying that same thing. And shockingly good. Not perfect, because let me tell you, TikTok Shop affiliates who you have to send samples to and then give commission to if they actually somehow make a sale, it's a lot of trash right now. It's a lot of slop. And AI is this good and this fast. I want to use AI for hook testing, content testing. And I know you can see this up here, but this is, Kimber and I are, do you guys know Kimber from Pearl Pop? She's lovely. If you don't know her, she's... I usually like $100 a day. $100 a day minimum. I love you. I'm sorry to call you out. But at this free event in Park City at Kimber's parents' house, we are going to, this is some of the stuff that I'm going to teach you how to do, is we're going to create some content. We're going to do some hook testing. But I need you to have like a TikTok shop set up before then. So that's why it's in like 2 weeks. No guarantees that you can get your TikTok shop set up before then, but because sometimes it's a journey. But that is a possibility for sure. Yeah, Macy. You do it, yeah. And it's part of your process for sure. But I don't like all my eggs in that basket, primarily because, I hate to break it to you guys. This one's really painful. Like I was literally, I'm besties with the 2 biggest affiliate recruitment companies out there. I'm going to sit down. This is serious. On TikTok Shop, there's over 2 million TikTok affiliates, okay? Less than 1% of them are doing $100 or more in revenue on TikTok. Okay? I'm not great at math, but that's about 20,000 TikTok creators, right? And when people start recruiting affiliates, they are, like when sellers are recruiting affiliates, and I used to teach this, so I only have myself to blame. But these affiliates they're basically just getting lambasted by sellers, being like, we want to work with you. Their DMs, they don't read them. You have a snowball's chance in hell of like actually working with a creator that actually knows how to create content and has a strong, not just following. I don't care about followers. That's vanity metrics to me. But they've created a channel, right? They have created an actual entertainment platform of some sort that people have a reason to come back to. I follow Phil's My Pharmacist. I don't ever see any of his content, ever. Okay? So when people talk to me about like, I gotta work with and recruit affiliates and creators, I'm like, no, hun, you need to create content. And yeah, you can recruit affiliates to create content for you, but guaranteed you're not gonna be happy with it. It's gonna be really hard if you're launching, especially a supplement. It's gonna be really hard to get people to like respond to you through TikTok Shop. And TikTok affiliates, they take their samples and they run. They basically have TikTok holds them accountable for creating content. They have 14 days from the time that they receive your order to actually create content. And they have your tracking number because the order was shipped from TikTok, right? It's treated just like a customer order. But when they actually receive that, they have 14 days to create that content, and they have stacks and stacks and stacks of samples. So are you going to get anybody's attention if you're launching? No. Is it going to be quality if you do? No. So when people are like obsessing about recruiting affiliates, I'm like, no, you don't need creators, you need content. So what's the fastest way you can get it with the most control and the highest opportunity for profitability long term? That's AI first and UGC second. It's completely flipped. Yeah. It depends. It depends. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish in that video. I would argue that a good percentage of the content that you see, you don't even know is AI. And you could lean into AI in an obvious way and have like characters that you create that are like Pilates Polly, and she's, hitting the gym every day and whatever. Like, you could create a whole story around that if you're really concerned. But literally the content that I created yesterday in seconds with AI, you would not be able to tell. As a marketer, I love it. As a mother, I'm terrified. Yeah. But for sure, there's people that hate AI. Yeah. Yes, Jordan. Yeah, because you have a bid cap, right? You're saying like, you have to hit this ROI or you cannot spend this budget, right? Are you hitting your budget? If you look at your campaign, then you can see like, how much did I spend today? Did you spend all your budget? Yeah, exactly. So you're creating a downward spiral of like lack of spend. Like, because your ROI target is this, then the budget won't spend because it can't deliver that. Does that make sense? You lower your ROI target. You just keep lowering it because you have to build momentum. And you have to have a strong enough and large enough budget that if you have a lot of content coming in, that it actually has like the capacity to put that money behind the videos to see like what it actually can do. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something that we could go into depth on at this workshop, but you need to quit obsessing about GMV. I know that's so hard, but you have no control over GMV. What you need to obsess about is product impressions. Product impressions are top of funnel from a marketing conversion standpoint. So if I look at your analytics today, the first place that I'm going to go is your product funnel, and I'm going to be looking at your product impressions. And then I'm going to be looking at your click-through rate and then your CTOR. I'm going to be looking at those core metrics. And if you don't have product impressions, you got nothing. You cannot optimize a marketing funnel from the bottom up. You have to optimize it from the top down, meaning I'm pouring views into my funnel. Yeah? And if you don't have video views, you have no chance from a conversion perspective. Let me just say this. I want you hitting 1 million product impressions per month. Yeah. So you're not going to do that by organic. You have to be running ads. And you have to have content coming in for those ads to test. So when you look at your content and you're looking at even your competitors' content, if you're going to do some research, instead of looking at their top performing GMV videos, I want to look at their top impressions, impression driving, because impressions fill the funnel. Medium is top, middle, and bottom of funnel. I want to see what's going on. So when I would consult with brands, I was consulting with a brand last night. I was like, I don't care about your GMV producing videos. Those are nice, but it's a lagging KPI, not a leading KPI. Product impressions are leading KPIs. So all the new content that's coming in, they're like, gosh, we sent out all these samples, we have all this affiliate content, or we produced all this content. And I'm like, and we're not making sales. And I'm like, okay, look at how much impressions you're generating though. And that is filling your funnel. So this one video that's really good at converting can be retargeted to all these people, all these eyeballs that are hitting your PDP. Does that make sense? I'm going deep with you guys today. I really am. I never get to talk about this stuff, but this is like really the meat and potatoes of the platform. Yeah. Sure. So your products are the first that I've ever heard of, right? You're category creating. Yeah. So Amazon, people aren't searching for that yet. If you're running any ads, once you really lean into TikTok, I wouldn't worry about Meta. I would just focus on TikTok. It's top of funnel enough for any social media platform. And it's the most powerful one. And with TikTok Shop, you're going to be able to see the actual full funnel, not like, okay, I ran on Instagram and then I'm trying to send them to Shopify. People don't love to shop on Shopify, so they're going to search for it on Amazon, and now I've got this tangled attribution web. TikTok is closed loop, you know? So I would focus, and that's as a marketer speaking, not as a TikTok Shop person. But you're going to have to spend money because you are building a category. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. UGC creators, there's all sorts of platforms that sell access to creators. So Join Brands is one of the best that's out there, and you can be really specific in finding the type of creators that you want to work with. So if you're like, my ICP is women ages 20 to 25, you can, that have a certain look, that have a certain aesthetic. You can be very prescriptive when you're hiring UGC creators. TikTok Shop affiliates, it's a little bit more of a crapshoot. Not necessarily. So if they are TikTok Shop creators, like I would say, depending on your budget, I would take half of the content that's being created and post on your brand account or that UGC or that ICP account that you're trying to tell the algorithm, like, this account is for this type of person. I want this content to show up for this type of person. So you're trying to kind of tell the algorithm this content is for this person, right? So, but if they're on TikTok Shop, they can also post on their channel too. But only if they have, only if they have invested in creating a channel that has a strong ICP. If they're just like schlepping random crap on TikTok, they're not. I don't want TikTok Shop affiliates anymore. I want somebody who looks like who I want to sell to. Not the informational ones, the education, the top of funnel stuff. That stuff can definitely be more just straight up posts. So if I say ads, I mean GMV max. None of you are going to be using TikTok Ads Manager. And if you are, it's a waste of money. So don't spend time there. And if an ad rep calls you and they're like, hey, I want to audit your account and tell you what to spend, don't. Say like, thank you so much. And nope, they're just salespeople. Matt, did you have your hand raised? Oh, yes. Let's talk about an influencer versus a content creator versus a TikTok Shop affiliate. Okay. So it used to be just influencers, right? Somebody influences you not because of what they do, they influence you because of who they are, right? And typically, if they're getting you to do something, they're not necessarily going to be great at it. So let's take Jane Williamson as an example. We love Jane Insane, right? She's a creator. She's a content creator. She is an entertainer. That is primarily what she is, right? But every once in a while, she posts content about a product. And if you look at the video views of one of her regular videos versus the video views of one of her, product posts, you can see the difference in just engagement overall. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, right? It's pretty obvious that people are like, I'm not here to watch an ad, right? I'm here to be entertained. Whereas influencers, they have a lifestyle that you want, right? That's where when we talk about aspirational content, the original influencers were Instagram folks, right? I want to look like her. I want to talk like her. I want my house to look like hers. Like, that's what we want, right? So we don't want to work with creators. That's a waste. Like, if anybody is like, I have a big old budget and I'm going to work with this NFL player who's got 1 million followers, no. Because his content is all football all the time, and all of a sudden he's talking about glasses or whatever, like body wash. If you're selling a football, maybe, but has he ever sold footballs? Can he sell? Probably not, right? So I would rather work with an influencer or somebody who's capable of creating content that I actually want to see. Now that's where we get into the TikTok shop world, because TikTok shop creators have to reach for somebody to qualify for commissions and to be able to post shoppable content, have to reach certain levels of criteria. Now, these days, TikTok shop affiliates are a dime a dozen. And their content, not so aspirational, right? It's like, what? I don't know. And I will say, though, that I'm not talking about how anybody looks. None of that. There are men and women, kids, not little kids, but I'm talking about like 20-somethings, that look like they just fell out of bed and are crushing, because they're good. Like, they're good at it. But like that second video where that girl was like we couldn't even hear her talk. Like, I don't need to know what's going on in her life. I want to look like her, right? I want those under eyes. I don't care about the hair, the makeup, whatever. Like, I just want to look like her, So Matt, does that help? So if somebody is primarily a TikTok shop affiliate, then I get a little like, and you can click through and you can see their content. You can see the quality of the content that they produce. They can see like, what their top selling videos are. You can really deep dive into somebody if you really want to. Most people don't have the time or energy to do that. And so they just put bots to work in just lamb-blasting people, and then you're just grateful for anybody who requests a sample. If you're in launch mode, that's the hell that you're living in. But if you can create content with AI and UGC creators, and that content starts to sell, affiliates are like moths to a flame. Then they will come to you. And that's when the big affiliates show up. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It used to be. It's not anymore.
Is that because they start to see traction?
Yeah.
They think they can sell it.
Yes.
Then it comes down to margin, commission, what they think.
Yeah. In fact, I'm at the point where I don't have free samples turned on. I just have refundable samples turned on in open collaboration. So I want to lead with my AI content and my UGC driven content. Or if you want to be the face of the brand, you are the face of the brand, and you are willing to create content, you go and do that. You feed your funnel, right? Yeah. It depends on the platform. There's lots of different pricing models that are out there. It's more about the amount of content that needs to be produced per month from a testing perspective. And it's minimum 1 a day, minimum. At the point, minimum 2 a day per channel. So if you have a brand channel and a marketing channel, it needs to be at least 1 post a day per channel. Both. So it could be on your brand page, it could be on your marketing page, and then you could also, if those UGC creators are also on TikTok Shop and have TikTok accounts, then they can also post on their own. Yeah. Well, I mean, the account itself, you can call it however you want. Like, it could be, like if your avatar, your ICP is a 55-year-old woman with, her bladder is falling out of, and she pees every time she laughs or sneezes, bless her heart. Maybe her name's Sarah, and we're talking about Sarah. I have Ranger Rick, Holistic Hannah, Nurse Nancy. Like, we have names for our AI affiliates for sure. Not necessarily. We'll play around with different ones, but it's all the same style and aesthetic. Yeah. Yes, primarily through the UGC method because you can script it. And if you're not happy with the content, you say try again, right? Yeah, because if you're recruiting affiliates and you send them samples, they're going to get that one video done and then they're in the wind. And most of the time, they're not going to have followed whatever creative brief that you developed in the first place. So they're the type of social accounts that you can create and bind with your seller account so that you can make posts shoppable. To be able to create shoppable posts on TikTok, you have to either become a TikTok shop affiliate and reach a certain level of criteria. It used to be 5,000 followers, maybe it's 1,000 followers now, and consistent posting and you have to meet some qualifications. But if you have 0 followers and you create a marketing account and you bind that with your TikTok shop, anything that you post on there, you can immediately make them shoppable posts. Your brand account, your brand official account, and your marketing account. Marketing accounts I feel like are really great for like if you want to get crazy in some of that controversial content, I wouldn't do it on your brand account. I would do it on a marketing account because you could burn that. That marketing account could be taken down, I have some good friends. If you want to look at Hadley Designs, they're a really great example. They're an 8-figure seller across Amazon and TikTok shop. In fact, Josh has roots here, and so I was telling him like, hey, next time you're in town, let's do something with Mountain Team. But their main page is really lovely. Becca, who is the face of the brand, she's also the graphic designer that creates all their products. And she started posting some content that was really, I was like, do not do that on your brand account. She was going after moms and being like, you're being lazy by giving your kids screens and da da da. She was trying to be controversial and heavy hitting. And I'm like, you are a mom talking to other moms. You are not a pediatrician. You are not a therapist. You are not anybody in a position of authority. You are going to piss people off and you're going to get yourself canceled, you know? Please don't do that. Do that on a marketing account. She's like, well, and Josh was telling me, because Josh was the one that's saying like, hey, we need to experiment with this controversial stuff. And I'm like, put it in AI. Do not have it be Becca saying these things, and put it in a throwaway account. Like, we don't want to be doing that. Are we all done? Are there any questions online?
I've answered some, but I've asked some too.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes we're just in the middle of like executing and not, but like affiliate, there's really great tools out there for managing affiliates. Yuka, EUKA, Reacher, those are both really good affiliate platforms. As far as content management goes, I would have a content creation workflow, and just like, instead of like bulk create and then bulk post, I would just create and post and test, because that's what you should be doing. You should be testing hooks, seeing what's working, looking at those product impressions, the clicks, those types of things, and being like, that worked, let's do it again. We can't repost existing content, so we have to create new content. Yeah. Yeah, there's all sorts of things that AI can do. Okay, so we have this retreat that's the July 1st, but if you guys want to just meet with me personally, you can, of course, scan that, and we can have a chat too. Okay. Why don't you just say it? Matt is telling me to say that the link has been put into the Slack channel for the Park City event, and then you can also check out, and we can share the slides in the Basecamp as well. Okay. Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much. As you can see, Michelle is amazing. And she's always accessible. She's so fantastic. I regularly make text intros for brands asking. I mean, what was it the other day? Somebody said, hey, who was that really nice lady who talked about TikTok Shop? But they said like the fall. They didn't say April. They were like the fall one. I was like, oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Okay. Reflections. What's your biggest takeaway from tonight? That, or I'm more overwhelmed, but yeah, maybe that affiliate tool that I made is obsolete because we need to be going after UGC creators. What do you think? Yeah, I would say this too is just sometimes, again, feeling overwhelmed at all the steps. You can use AI as a brainstorming tool for hooks and video ideas and things like that. Is a great way that you could use it right this second. You don't need a system for that. Once you start doing that, you can build the system, right? Like that can help with that creation process. We will have, again, I've done this plug every week, we will have a huge creator matchmaking event at Catalyst in August. UGC Academy is another group that's bringing some creators and stuff as well. Any others? Takeaways? Yeah. I seriously, when I think about if I had another life, I would try to be a content creator on TikTok and sell stuff, because I think it just looks fun. I think it looks fun. Yeah. I mean, I did. What? Oh. Oh, that's a really good idea. Did I tell you that I had a TikTok video get a couple 100,000 views a few months ago because I was commenting about my wife's ex-husband and how he conditioned her to do everything and worry about everything, and how it's funny sometimes that I'm a normal human being and I can manage things myself. And it was like 1 million women commenting. I made it for guys, and 1 million women commented about, you see me, and I was like, oh, sorry. So I thought about, I'm like, man, I should make more content like this. What can I sell to women that think that guys are horrible? Anyway, sorry. There is. I'm mostly joking. I am mostly joking. Okay, any more takeaways? Exactly. Yeah, because literally the opening thing, it says it was, guys, this is how low the bar is in dating. And that's literally what I started with. And I'm talking about the story of taking out the trash and my wife reminding me every single day to take out the trash, and how I was literally doing that when she was stopping, pulling out, and she goes, oh, of course you're doing it. And I'm like, we go through this every week. I don't need you to remind me. Okay, any more questions, feedback, or anything? Okay, all right. So if you're watching remotely or here, post in the Slack what you're working on, what you're doing for some accountability. Bomi, do I have the clicker? I do have the clicker. You got it. Okay, yes. Okay, so on this, we've asked all of our past speakers to share calendar links and stuff in the Slack. So if you want to meet with Megan and Jenny, for example, on email, or Michelle or Caitlin Brannigan for website stuff, they are available in there. Anything else that you want to see or do, please let us know. The upcoming content is, will you advance? Yeah, so next week, Jeff Durham, the CEO and founder of Gimme Beauty, massive retail brand, is going to be here talking about wholesalers, big and small. After that, we have Rachel Ricks coming in to talk paid media. And then July 8th, we're trying to do finance and our pitch competition training. Okay. And then, of course, Ecom Elevated. I have free ticket codes for everybody. I just haven't done it yet. Sorry. I haven't sent it to everybody yet. Okay. That's it, everybody. Thank you.